Hi there and welcome to Susie's Space. This class is a yin class that's focused on rest and nourishment for the kidneys and adrenals. So when we are busy or there's lots of change around, our mind is racing, it activates the adrenal glands, our fight or flight pathways, which sit just on top of our kidneys. So the kidneys are a huge source of energy for the physical body in Chinese medicine. So with the adrenals sitting right on top, adrenals representing fire and kidneys representing water, they're two very interesting elements to have kind of hand in hand in the area of the body that is just at the base of the back ribs. Now the base of the back ribs is in alignment with our digestive organs at the front. So we also have the fire of digestion can be weakened when there's an overuse of the adrenal energy and hormones associated with that. So it can create too much fire through there, drawing on the fire that we need for digestion and depleting our resources. If the digestive fire isn't quite as strong as it could be, not only are we not possibly digesting our food quite as much, but maybe we're not digesting our emotional and mental experiences. So things are left undigested, so to speak. So there's a major connection with all of the organs, all of the systems, and the beauty of yoga is we can access ways of offering the body something which is opposite to what we normally do to bring things into balance. So in my mind, I'm always thinking about how do I balance the forces within the body? How do I balance the elements within the body? How do I bring balance to the mind-body complex? It's just a constant dance of creativity for me. So whichever way I offer yoga in more of a yang practice, which is stronger standing poses, there'll always be a reason, or whether I'm offering more a yin style practice, which is this one that we're about to do together, there's always a clear intention for what I'm offering the practice for. So this one is focused on kidneys, adrenals, digestion, calming the mental chatter, and nourishing ourselves on a really deep level. So have some props around you. You will need possibly a chair. I always have my little trusty chair close by. Bolster maybe, or couch pillows, blankets. I've got my block. So just surround yourself as usual with props and supports. And we're going to start at the wall. So you don't need to bring your mat. You just need to come to a wall. And we're going to start in a very gentle forward fold. Feet can be quite a way away from the wall, but make sure your bottom is on the wall. Haven't got too much height here in my film, but that's okay. I don't need it. And then just rock a little side to side, walking the sit bones up the wall. And when you can have your knees bent here, and when you get to what feels like your maximum, if it's here, maybe you grab a blanket or a towel and roll it up a little and bring it up into your upper thigh crease, and then you kind of wedge it in there with your arms, fold down, and then just rest your elbows, your forearms on your thighs. You can keep walking the sit bones up, but you won't feel yourself in here quite so deep. You can see my spine then is more parallel with the ground. I can drop my head and neck. I can relax my hands, and I can just settle in here. This option gives me a really gentle forward fold. It keeps me away from the tightness that can occur through the hamstrings. It allows me to rest. So if you're here, close the eyes, relax the tongue and the jaw. If your body allows you to go a little bit deeper, you can even walk your feet back a little bit. You can walk the sit bones quite high, bring the hands to the ground. Knees can still be bent a little here, or maybe you come to straight legs, but remember it's a restorative yin class. So we're not wanting really strong sensation here. And then fold in, maybe clasp the elbows so you feel like you're dangling. Let your shoulders come up around your ears. Whichever position you've chosen, settle in now. We've got about another minute just to start to open up the back body. The whole length of the back body is kidney channels. So feel the back hips, feel the area around where your kidneys are situated below your back ribs, and see if you can take your breath there. The upper body dangles, the pelvis leans into the wall. Take 3 more breaths. And stay in your fold, however that may be, and just spin yourself around. And what I'm going to do here is tuck myself into the wall. So I'm going to walk my feet a little forward, and maybe your neck, maybe your upper back leans into the wall here. Come back to dangling with the arms. It's quite a strange sensation. My knees are bent. Maybe you straighten them, maybe you don't. Sensations not too strong. Lean into the wall. Now, if you're up higher, maybe you step away from the wall and maybe you just lean into the wall like this. So let this be a shoulder opener. Keep the knees bent. There's more space between me and the wall. And I've got my forearms crossed, and I'm just softening my heart center down towards the ground, opening my shoulders. You can draw the tailbone a little bit under here to get length through the spine, just a micro movement, and settle in there. Whichever position you're in, just enjoy what you're feeling. Not too deep. About another minute. Let's take 3 more breaths. Now, sometimes when we've got ourselves into something like this, it's like, how do I get out? Hands on the ground, push into the hands, bend the knees, lean back into the heels, and roll up through the spine. And then just take a moment, whatever position you're coming out of, feet away from the wall, lean back into the wall, drop the chin to the chest. Take a few nice big belly breaths here. It's quite an interesting opening through the upper spine. If you lean into the wall and really allow yourself to be supported like that in a forward fold. Hands on the wall, push away, come back over to your mat. Now I'm going to sit on a blanket here. So you can fold that blanket as high as you would like it to be. You can roll another blanket for those with lower back sensitivity, knees, hamstrings that require more support. Please have something under your knees as well, height under the buttocks, something under the knees. And then I'm going to grab my friendly little chair here, bring it in nice and close. So have the feet about a foot apart. Grab a block or grab something, some pillows that you can put here. And if you need to bring the chair closer, bring it over your support under your knees. Inhale here and exhale, drape the arms. Rest the forehead. Maybe the forehead's on the chair. Maybe you pop a blanket over here so it's nice and soft. Think comfort. So if this is lower back vulnerability, hamstring restriction, this is where you're at. If you would like to go a little bit deeper into the forward fold, you can still leave a blanket underneath your knees, especially if you know you hyperextend into your knees. You can have a block, you can pop a blanket over here, you can inhale, exhale, come into your forward fold, or you can remove this if you've got a little bit more spaciousness through your hamstrings. We're all built differently. And settle into a forward fold. Maybe this is higher, maybe you have a bolster on top, maybe you have a couple of blocks. Let's settle into our forward fold. Relax the arms, let the jaw drop. Bring your awareness to your back hips. And just above the back hips, where the lumbar spine meets the sacrum, and across the top of the back hips, there's a whole lot of connective tissue, tendons, ligaments that can get quite sticky, ropey, dehydrated, tight. So what we're doing here is we're focusing on here and asking our connective tissue and the muscle surrounding to just let go. As you feel your jaw releasing, as you feel your forehead getting heavier, allow your buttocks to get heavy. Doesn't matter what position you're in. And as this area starts to loosen, more space is created for the kidneys. There can be a shortening of muscles through the lower back, which kind of pinches and keeps us in a lumbar curve, too much of a lumbar curve, throwing our front ribs forward, giving away our solar plexus energy. So what we want to do is broaden across here. Feel the front ribs tucking in a little bit here, just naturally in this position. Focus on those areas, ask them to release. Nice, smooth breath. No gaps, nice and even. If the mind wanders, count your breath. Make sure your fingers aren't gripping. Make sure your arms are heavy. Feet relaxed, maybe dropping out to the sides. Feel your pelvis getting heavier. Feel your back, your middle back opening up. Accepting more expansion with the breath. Feeding the tissues with fresh oxygenated blood. A little bit longer here. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Then really slowly walk yourself back. Take it easy. Feel yourself upright. Close the eyes. Feel the sensations. And slowly remove your props from the mat. Keeping myself on track. And then let's lie back in Shavasana. Before you lie back, grab a scarf or a belt, whatever you have, and just lying back down on your back. As a counter stretch, let's just draw the knees into the chest. Maybe you rock a little side to side and really feel already that the body is starting to unwind. Forward folds are so calming, so soothing, and when we practice them in a from a yin perspective, feminine, slow, receptive, They really calm the nervous system. Feet on the ground. Maybe you just lengthen through the legs a little. If the lower back is niggly, please bend the knees. Take 3 breaths here. Bend the knees one at a time. Have your belt or scarf laying across your belly. Draw your right knee in. Keep the feet relaxed. And then slowly lengthen your left leg. Remember, you can always keep this left leg bent. If it's bent, keep it as a nice solid foundation. Heel in towards the buttocks to stabilize the back hips. Otherwise, relax the left leg down. Squeeze this in. And then take the belt over the sole of the foot, up near the ball of the foot. Lengthen the leg towards the ceiling. Now, grab the belt and wrap your hands around the belt. It's a little awkward, but kind of get it so you feel like you're hanging. That way you don't have to grip as tightly. You're sort of strapped in there. And it'll create a nice little bit of tension for this leg. Remember, the knee can be bent. Remember, this leg can be bent. So if you're vulnerable through your lower back or your hamstrings are a little tighter, work here. Otherwise, straighten out. There'll be a gentle bend on this leg. Close the eyes, let the left leg relax, let the right leg relax, let the arms hang. Close the eyes. And lean into your back, hips here. So we're still asking that same part of the body to lean down into the earth. Dropping down, releasing. Gently releasing hamstrings. Releasing hamstrings helps to release us from the gripping around the middle back. Let it be a process. Let it be slow. Work with exactly where you're at right now. The more you can soften your jaw, the more your head will get heavy. The soft palate will soften back towards the ground. The throat center will soften because the neck will soften. Shoulders will release. Breathe into the belly. feel things starting to change. Continue to lean in. Continue to surrender. Receive the medicine of the practice. Take 3 more full breaths here. To come out, slowly bend the left leg and bend the right knee. Remove the belt, both feet on the ground. Release the hands. Maybe heel toe the feet out to mat distance apart and let the knees drop in towards each other. Or lengthen through the legs. Take a few breaths. Feel the blood. Feel the circulation through that leg, through the hip. Feel the sensations, drop into the ground, lean in a little more deeply. Nice big breaths into the belly. Maybe sigh and let them out. The beauty of a home practice is maybe you dare to just sigh a little louder. The sound of is so soothing. It releases emotional tension held in the tissues of the body. The next time you inhale, bend both knees again. Draw the left knee in. Relax here. Maybe you lengthen through the right leg, let it flop. Maybe you don't. Maybe you keep it bent. And then take the belt over the foot, up near the ball of the foot. Lengthen, wrap the hands around the belt or your scarf so you can just hang there. That'll be a nice amount of tension as well. Really relax the right leg. Maybe your knee is more bent and further away from the body. Maybe you look like this. Totally fine. That's actually really nice. Just dropping weight down into my back hips. Come back to the belly breath. Find a way to support whatever form you're in with as little effort as possible. Bring your awareness back to the back hips and feel them earthing. Notice all this rest and relaxation hydrates the tissues of the body. Leaving things more plump, leaving connective tissues more hydrated so they're better at shock absorbing. They are our shock absorbers, as are our discs between our vertebrae. So this is a really lovely practice as we relax the back hips. Our big lumbar vertebrae relax down to the ground and they become more spacious, and the discs have more space. They're plump. Better for absorbing shock as we move through our day with our huge expectations on our body. Drop in a little more. Take 3 more breaths here. To come out, slowly bend both knees, remove your support, pop it at the side, either heel toe the feet out to mat distance apart, let the knees drop in towards each other. Or lengthen through the legs, take a couple more breaths, just feeling yourself unwind. What a wonderful feeling. Slowly bend the knees. Roll over to a side. Take a few breaths there. And then just transition up through a seat. As before you lie down, make sure that you have a couple of blocks or a couple of books next to you. Just put one to the side. You'll only need one right now. Have the feet hip distance apart, little toe side straight, feet in close to the buttocks. Let's push into the feet and lift the spine off the ground and take the block to its second height. So it looks like this. Take it under your back hips. Now if you get there and you think, nope, don't want that, too high, grab a lower book or take it down onto its lowest level. So just find a position that feels right for you and have it so it's at the sacrum and the back hips. So feel the lumbar spine will be totally free here. My lumbar spine is not on the block. My hips and my sacrum are. My feet are in the exact position they were in. Maybe you can heel toe the feet out a little wider and just allow the knees to drop in ever so slightly. They won't drop in much, but that'll help the thighs to relax. If that doesn't feel right, come back to hip distance apart. And then I just walk my shoulders a little up towards my head, lengthen my neck a little, which allows my lumbar spine to drape a little. Now notice if you have resistance in the lower back that says, nope. If you do, just arch the spine a little, drop the buttocks closer to the ground, and start again. Just see what it's like to drape the spine. So as my spine drapes, my buttocks lift a little, they still remain soft. My front hips lift a little. I feel very spacious here. And it's like my back is just draping off the block. Find a position for the arms. Breathe into the belly. Make sure you're comfortable here. And again, lean in. Rearrange at any point. If you're on the lower level, you'll still receive the exact same benefits. Working with your body in total acceptance, knowing the more that you return to this practice, the more ease you'll have through your back, your autonomic nervous system, fight, flight, rest and digest. Your hamstrings will start to relax. Feel your shoulders and your pelvis getting heavier. This is a beautiful, gentle inversion. Keep breathing into the belly. Count your breath if your mind is wandering. If your mind is happy to be filled with the sensations that you're feeling, linger there. A mind full of sensations, totally connected to your physical body, bringing you directly into the here and now. Let's take 3 more full breaths here. To come out, if I took my feet wider, I heel toe them back into hip distance apart. I then push into my feet to lift just enough to remove the block. I grab my other block and I come directly into butterfly after I just rock my knees a little bit. Earthing the spine, really feeling the back hips now. Lots of sensation, lots of earthing. And then bring the soles of my feet together. And even if you're comfortable here in butterfly, we're going to offer ourselves support, which is going to lift us a few more inches above where we would normally be, and allowing the front groins, the inner groins, and the front hips to just drop back. So if you have it more down towards your knees, you'll drop down a little lower. If you have it up under your thighs, closer to your hips, you'll be up a little higher. I quite like it here because it gives me a very deep dropping sensation in between my pubic bone and my front hips. I can feel my tail nice and long. I can feel my back hips and my lumbar spine earthed. Whichever position you choose, find a comfortable spot for the arms. Maybe you take them overhead for a shoulder opener. My fingertips are touching, so I'm creating diamonds with my body. I like the visual of this shape. I like the feeling of this shape. If that's too much for your shoulders, just have the arms down by the side. And then come back to that feeling of dropping in again. Make sure the fingers aren't gripping. Let them softly curl. Wrists are totally limp, no gripping. Elbows soft, shoulders soft. Neck, jaw, face totally at ease. Feel your pelvis softening. Feel yourself supported by your props and just surrender. Try to have your chin dropping down towards your throat. Otherwise, pop a pillow under your head if your chin is up towards the ceiling. It just means there's tightness through the shoulders, so if you offer yourself a little bit of height under the head, you'll feel your shoulders drop down even more. It's such a glorious feeling as the spine lengthens. Keep on breathing into the belly. Let's take 3 more breaths. I'm slowly going to release my arms if they're overhead. I'm simply going to slide my feet down the mat, slide my blocks down so they come to under my thighs, and then straighten my legs. My legs are nice and wide, and I just enter Shavasana for a few breaths. Feel the heaviness of your whole body. Dropping into more and more effortless, deeper into stillness. When we enter stillness, the body gets busy inside, tending to what needs to be done inside. So we're never really still. We're just offering space for internal clear-outs, clean-ups, removing waste, rebuilding, digestion. So many internal processes going on right now. And we are just out of the way of the whole lot. What a gift. Slowly bend the knees. Roll to a side. Push up. Be heavy. Now this next shape we're making, I'm going to give you a few options. If you're practicing this practice in the morning or the middle of the day and you've still got quite a lot of your day left, these next two options are a little more energizing. So I take 2 blocks like this, and then I grab one of my blankets and I fold it and I pop it over that end block, which that one's for my head. It will keep my head a little higher. I'm going to turn this one like this, so it's a little narrow. This one's for between my shoulder blades. Now, if Virasana is in your practice, softly roll the calves out, not too hard, sit down in between the feet. Knees don't have to be together, they can come apart. And shuffle forward until this block is right in between the shoulder blades. And it should be really comfortable. Make sure the base of your skull is fully supported. Your chin will naturally drop down towards your throat. Your feet will be nice and relaxed. Spread your toes. Find a spot for the arms. Palms facing up. And settle in. If Virasana is not in your repertoire, you can do the exact same form, but in butterfly. So make your way back on your blocks. So it's quite a high chest opener. Now, if you like, you can grab some blankets or pillows and wedge them under your thighs here. And you'll feel that this is quite a deep, well, it's a it's quite a deep back bend, but it's fully supported. So there's no effort in holding yourself here. So if either one of those suits you, come into that now. Play around. It's worth taking the time to get your supports perfect. And if there's any pain, it's not for you. Now, if you're practicing this at night and you're heading into bed, have your blocks or support this way. I'll also give you another option in a minute if you don't have blocks. That's for the head. Now, same deal, in between the shoulder blades. That's lovely. Soles of the feet can come together. Pillows can be wedged underneath the thighs, or you can just lie with your legs out straight. Feet flopping, spacious, palms facing up. Or you can roll up a blanket or a towel into quite a tight roll, and you can place that under your spine. And then I'm going to take another blanket for my head and neck. And this can be your option. So again, in between the shoulder blades, base of the bra strap, drag this down. So again, the chin is dropping in towards the throat. Now I'm just going to stay here. So whatever position you're in, or you can be in butterfly here. If you're in butterfly here, grab a couple of books, pop them underneath. Let out a few sighs as you settle in. Close the eyes, totally surrender. So if you're up in a deeper back bend, you're totally supported. You would have dropped into your supports by now. Make sure you remain comfortable and feel the very gentle compression around the kidney area at the base of the rib cage. And still just imagine all of those muscles in the lower back releasing, your pelvis getting heavier. The base of the skull imprinting your blanket. Breathe softly, smoothly into the belly. Make sure the jaw and the throat are soft. And if you're in a much calmer back bend, because it's the end of your day and you are not wanting to activate the kidneys or the adrenals, just feel yourself surrendering. Feel your sternum opening, like your rib cage is softening away from your sternum and your shoulder blades are just dropping down. Feel the body changing. Feel the sensations changing. Feel yourself dropping deeper into stillness. If you're in a higher back bend with the blocks on their highest setting in butterfly or virasana, slowly find your forearms. Take a nice inhale and exhale. And then just start rocking from side to side and bring yourself up to all fours and just start rocking your ankles. If you're down lower, or like I am, if your legs are straight out, slowly bend at the knees. If your legs are in butterfly, slide your heels away from you, straighten your legs and then bend your knees. So we want no stress on the lower back. And then roll to the right side. Take a moment there before you push up. Now if you've come out of Virasana, just to loosen the knees, I come onto all fours and I just rock and wobble my ankles and my feet. And you'll feel a little bit of gentle movement through the knees, through the thighs. Everyone can do this if you like. It's quite a nice feeling no matter what position you are in. And then let's come down onto our back. Maybe keeping something here for our head and neck. Maybe keeping a rolled up blanket for under our knees. We're entering a very gentle twist and then directly into Shavasana. So find your way down. Bend your knees. Draw your knees into the chest. Take the arms out. Take the knees to the left. Take 5 breaths. Don't make the twist too deep if you don't feel like it. Have the knees further away from the body. Have a support underneath here. And inhale your way back to the center. Exhale here. Inhale again. Exhale to the right. Drop into your twist. You don't have to have anything under your head. It just happens to be there. I set it up for Shavasana. If it doesn't feel right, get rid of it. Few more breaths. When you're ready, inhale your knees back to center. Exhale here, and then make your way into a super comfy Shavasana. Make sure your feet aren't touching anything. Make sure, sometimes I like to bring my support up under my thighs. It allows them to just keep getting heavier and heavier. Take a few deep breaths to settle in. The body will be well versed by now at letting go, training ourselves to let go. It's a nervous system function. It's a retraining. It requires time and effort and discipline. Practicing practices like this over and over again. after a few deep breaths, just settle in, relax everything, drop back, drop down, effortless surrender. Let go of the breath, let go of everything. Come back to your breath. Come back to your body. You can always stay in Shavasana for longer. If you have it, just press pause here. Otherwise, wiggle the fingers and toes. If you're heading to bed, roll to the left side. If you're heading back into your day, roll to your right. Take a few breaths here. When you're ready, push the hands into the ground, bring yourself up, and set yourself up on a little perch for a short little meditation that can turn into a longer meditation if you have time and it feels wonderful, which after a practice like this is a perfect time for meditation because there's less mind work to do. So you may take yourself to a chair. You may take yourself back to the wall. You may just sit so the pelvis is higher than the knees, so you're still spacious through the front hips. However you're sitting, allow the spine to be tall, hands resting. Let's actually take a soft, gentle mudra of the first finger and the thumb and just place the hands down, facing down on the thighs. Keep everything super soft. Raise the base of the skull, softly dropping the chin, and just feel you. Let's stick with the watching the breath, not really creating a breath. Watching how the breath moves through your body. Now you're heavy, restful, effortless, and hopefully at ease in your body, inhabiting this vehicle that gets you through your days as wholly as you can. Let's just sit here and breathe and feel. Feel the weight of your pelvis. The lightness appearing in your spine. Crown of the head searching for the sky. Eyes soft. Forehead smooth. Heart center soft, open, at ease. Gentle breath in the belly, earthing down through the sit bones. Feel the balance. Feel you. Continue to breathe. The longer that you dare to sit and feel these wonderful feelings of deep rest in the body, the more you imprint them on your nervous system, and the quicker you can recall them throughout the day when you just sit and take 3 to 5 random breaths. Maybe while you're doing the dishes. It's usually a time when the mind races. For me, it's also cleaning my teeth. My mind races when I clean my teeth. So I try to bring these feelings back, soften my breath, gaze into my eyes in the mirror. So have a little think about a time of the day where you can call this in. Retraining, resetting the nervous system. And then maybe in your mind committing to a time of the day when you'll do that. Making a little pact with yourself right now. Then come back to the breath. Just continue to feel. Come back to the moment. Come back to the body. Come back to the sensations. I invite you to sit for as long as you like. When you're ready to come out, bring your hands into Anjali Mudra at the heart. Inhale, exhale, bowing to you. Feeling, bowing to your heart space. Namaste. thank you for practicing with me. Enjoy the rest of your day.